So then I went to research what was so different about this new bill, and the answer is absolutely nothing. They say that this deal is a pragmatic off-ramp from the initial stalemate, a quote-unquote cleaner CR with some wins for both sides, but it largely kicks the core fights, ACA subsidies, Medicaid cuts down the road without resolution. So why the vote now? Well, it's this. One of the main reasons why the shutdown began in the first place is because the Democrats feared electoral backlash from their base. This is an article from last month. They said that, quote, it's been clear to them that the American people don't want to see a Democratic Party that capitulates to a Republican extremism. They want a party that stands up for people's health care, that stands up for our democracy, and that's what they're doing now. And that message worked brilliantly for the Democrats. They absolutely shellacked the Republicans in the elections last week. And now Democrats who won their elections last week are coming out and saying, yeah, they can be done with this government shutdown now. Yeah, that big fight over health care, yeah, that is not even in this new bill. So we had a 40-day government shutdown, air traffic, a complete mess, massive bread lines across the country for absolutely no reason. It's all a freaking game to these scumbags, and the American people are always the one to suffer.
What did I tell you guys? It's all a show. It's all a show. What was the point of them doing this shutdown if they got nothing from it? And now there is a major backlash in the Democrat Party against the Democrat leadership, the establishment Democrats. But we knew this was going to happen.
Hello, people.
Of the chaos plan that they have. They want Americans hungry. They want Americans desperate.
Hello, people.
Go without pay, without benefits, without anything else, because they were pushing these tax credits for Obamacare. That wasn't even part of.
Hello, how's everybody doing? Cleaning up my mess first, so. Hello. How are you doing? Hi. That's good. Oops. Go. Hi. Howdy, in Cope Dang 2321. I'm from America. That's where I'm from. Hi. So, in America news, the government finally opened up. Yay us. No, my sweater's not on backwards. Hi, Isabella. Hi, Isabel. I'm cleaning the kitchen. Gonna put some cookies in the oven. My sweater's neck looks like Donald Trump's. That's weird. No, I'm not fired. Yeah, I know. That's what they wanted. No, I have work. I'm off today. I'm an adult. I'm off of work today. Okay, so on September the 19th, they on September 19th, they were going to be voting on a clean CR bill, which just basically says that they are paying for the government. They're paying to keep the lights on. Nothing more, nothing less. And then, cool. And then they, oh, there's a box outside. And then they, well, basically the Democrats didn't vote on it. Oh, okay, so you. Anyway, so they just basically refused to vote for this. And it was for 40 days. The senators, yes. Because it had already gone through the House. And people are blaming they're blaming Congress for it not going through. They're blaming it was 6 Democrat senators and no, 6 Democrats had to vote for it. There was only 8 Democrats that voted for it. Yeah, you needed, that's Archie. actually, I'm not gonna bake these. You needed, there's Archie. Hello? No. Probably gonna bake them on Sunday, actually. I don't feel like making them today. But I'll show you the cookies, what they look like. I ate one of them raw. See, there's I've never seen the movie. Can anyone tell me if the movie is good? Wicked, is the movie Wicked good? Yeah, they're cookies. Oh yeah, I'm going to share them with work colleagues. Yeah, I'm going to share the cookies. That's weird. I don't have a boyfriend. I broke up with my boyfriend. This is Archie. Archie's better than a boyfriend. That's right.
This is America. No one's going to remember the government shutdown by there, which makes me think Chuck Schumer was a little bit more involved with this than he's letting.
I don't feel like telling you the city I'm from.
That none of them are up for re-election.
I'm from the state of Missouri.
I see the argument that, well,
That's right, he is a lard ass.
At the end of January when this CR bill if we don't get the votes on the ACA's subsidies and we don't extend and lower healthcare costs for Americans, one, it'll be too late by then when it comes to the subsidies. But on top of that, the public was blaming the Republicans for this shutdown, rightfully so. If Democrats are announcing now that they're going to reclose the government at the end of January, do you think the public's going to be on our side? Sure, SNAP benefits are now fully funded through 2026, which means Republicans will not have that weapon, but they've got other weapons. And just to pray that this goes well seems misguided and short-sighted in my mind.
So these are more Democrats coming out. More Democrats coming out speaking against it. They are upset. They're still blaming the Republicans. I don't know how. I'm showing you how that's just not true. Okay? But again, it makes you question.
That's weird.
It makes you question everything.
Don't be weird.
Why are they doing all of this? Like, nothing is making sense.
No, I don't know where you are.
Talking about the 50-year mortgage. Huh?
No.
Huh? That is not something, like when we talk about, like, people believe this country was founded, and I've been going through that with you guys, founded on all of these principles, and then the biggest lie that they have pushed is the American dream. As if this is great American dream. Where did that come from?
Okay, hey, football rival or whatever the fuck you are. If you keep talking,
So much damage has been done to this country. Like, the American dream is gone. They have made everything so unaffordable.
I don't know. Somebody's being a dickhead. But you know what? Mango's gonna beat him up.
The economy
Okay, you know what?
trash.
You know what? You get to suck Mango. So shut up.
And people are scared of what's
Quit being weird.
going to happen on both sides.
Murder you.
Because right now, many of the promises that we got on the right, they're not coming to pass. Some of them are, but it seems like at some point in the spring, I feel like there was a change. Something shifted. Something shifted dramatically on the right. I feel like
Wherever the
he was really hitting them hard with so many things. But then, as promises started not being fulfilled, well, what has happened? On the right, you are seeing a major split. People being disappointed, and it's all over the place. And then on the left, the same thing. People are disaffected. So what is really going on? Why are we seeing our government not really working for the people and all of the promises that they've said? I've told you, their main goal, and what I see, is not the American people right now.
You're just jealous of my Mango sweater.
United in, and that is to bring in new world order. So you're going to continue to see more chaos. You're gonna
It
see
shows he's from
protests,
Nigeria.
government doing things that really
We know.
is a backhand slap to us, the people, we the people. Whether it's the illegals voting, whether it's
Okay, you know what?
which in my opinion, no one has any confidence in these elections because really no reform has been done.
Hi.
And we can go on and on and on
Stop it.
about the things that are happening. And even like with the Epstein list, that was promised. I'm not pressed to see the Epstein list because in my
Well, I don't like some random person talking about how he wants to fuck me. That's weird. He's weird. He's weird and he probably has a small penis. So there.
And they're not really seeing anything. They're not really putting up a fight, at least the fight that we want. And so for me, whether I ever see the Epstein list or not, it makes no difference. I've seen
That's your emoji.
lies that we have been fed. All of
I
our
can't
lives,
see it.
all of our lives. We can get into NASA and the moon land, which
I'm about to. I don't want to have to block him because
that I keep bringing up. Like there are so
because
many bloopers. Maybe I should do a video.
I don't believe in doing that crap, but I'm about to.
Screens where they're hanging on wire. You can see the green screen.
No.
You can
But he's talking about giving me anal and shit like that.
okay.
I don't want that on my live stream.
That's how fake this was. And now so we can't go back to the moon because we lost.
Oh, he said he has a small penis.
Or are we
Because he keeps talking about stuff. He wouldn't talk like that in real life.
firmament stops you from going up there. Stops you from actually entering space. So that's called conspiracy theory, but it's not conspiracy.
That's what he gets for talking to me that
I
way.
can prove it, and not only that, the Word of God says this. So believing in anything.
I'll try to.
Anti-biblical if you are a Christian. So understand understand, these are the things happening, and I think on my other channel, I told you Melanie Oscrip is when I'm going to.
There's a FedEx guy that just drove by my house.
Conspiracy theories, so we can really see, so you can have the information and decide for yourself. Because what we're taught, what we're told, none of it is real, and not a single thing is real. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, real things happen. Get that. But as far as our history, the what we're taught about our country,
Anyway, so does everybody know what's going on with the stupid shutdown? The government just opened yesterday. It's about damn time. Anyway, so how's everybody else's day going?
So with that, let me know what you think, and I will see you guys on the next one.
David, the movie.
I will not be
Oh, this cat, his name is Mango. He wears a sweater. I crocheted the sweater. That's good.
An elegant touch for an everyday.
The other cat's name is Archie, if that's what you're talking about.
Welcome to
Hello there.
Butthole, where Opie's fiance tries to steal her inheritance. Am I the butthole for embarrassing my fiance by saying that just because we're getting married, that doesn't...
No, because Archie doesn't like wearing sweaters. Oh yeah, did you guys hear that they're not going to be allowing
Competing in all female categories. The Times of London reports that the change is set to be announced early next year. Under the current policy, trans women have been allowed to compete in the female category as long as tests reveal reduced testosterone levels. But the final decision has always rested with the individual sport. Now, exactly how that policy will be changed, unclear at the moment. In fact, an IOC spokesperson denied that a decision has even been made. They did confirm to the Post, however, that the IOC conducted a science-based review of the athletic advantages of competitors who are born biologically male. The findings of that study were presented in a closed-form meeting last week. The big question now is whether these new rules, if they are released in the coming months, will be enforced for the Winter Olympics in Italy that begin this February.
Just gonna say this for the millionth time, transgender people in all three sports, definitely not at the Olympic level, which is extremely elite and can cost up to $100,000 just to compete. It's not happening. It doesn't happen. The rare cases that it does should not warrant a headline.
Okay.
The New York Times, the Jerusalem Post, the New York Post. I mean,
Yeah, you guys can see Archie.
If you are running like headlines that say transgender people, number one institution.
This is Alice. Okay, you know what? You're being blocked. Just so you know. Okay. Just so everybody knows that's... Yeah, he's annoying. That guy's fucking annoying. That's Archie right there. His name is Archie. He's orange. He's an orange boy. I already blocked him. I put him on timeout mode for 24 hours. Well, you don't want that guy. That guy's a fucking whack job. I don't know if I have to pay you for him to be a mod anyway. Do mods do it for free? Do whatever for free? No. See, I can't afford to pay people, so... But you should go to, if you... I don't know anything about that type of stuff. That's okay. I just block people like him. I put him on timeout mode. Yeah, Archie. He's a boulder. I don't know a lot of the people who I talk to. I just kind of, don't make it someone you know. Yeah. This is the first time I've seen this guy on my page. I've never seen this person. Oh, so his comments won't be shown. Hello there, Archie. Hello there. You're a good boy. Hi, David. Oh, he's on timeout mode. That's Alice. For 24 hours. Hi. Whoa there.
Part of what this executive order will be applying to, I think we really missed the mark when we're focusing so heavily on biology and not on the lived experience of kids who are just trying to have the educational experience as their peers.
All right, y'all, break from the show because this is important. Look, we talk a lot here about standing up for yourself, not letting big corporations, government, anybody else push you around. But what happens when real life hits, car accidents, workplace injuries, medical mistakes, and suddenly...
So, did you guys hear that they're not allowing trans people to be in the Olympic sport this year?
For the ones who know well-prepared workdays land right on time, there's Granger. For the ones who...
Hi, David.
Find out more about that job. Introducing
I was able to trace one of her recipes and heat transfer vinyl it onto this tea towel. It's in her actual handwriting. That's what it looks like. Making things.
I'm good. How are you?
Making things yourself, even when you could buy them, is the special part.
Need a sec? At Ollie, we get it. That's why we made new vitamin-infused body washes.
From women's sport, let's bring in our sports correspondent, Rob Harris. Rob, there have been many people who've been campaigning for this for quite a while. Explain to us what it means.
This is a notable shift in position from the International Olympic Committee. Previously, they'd left it to individual sports to decide whether or not transgender women could compete in women's sport. But now Sky News understands that the International Olympic Committee is moving towards a blanket ban on transgender women competing in women's events. We also understand that there's been discussions about reintroducing sex testing, something that existed in the 60s until the late 90s. Now, the IOC is taking this decision or moving towards it because so many other sports are athletics, swimming, cycling amongst those who have decided to ban transgender women from women's events.
Good.
This is because of concerns about competitive advantages. I understand that last week IOC members were briefed by the medical chief of the IOC, Dr. Jane Thornton, that there are advantages in sporting terms from having those physical advantages having gone through male puberty, and that's created concerns about the women's sport category. There is a new IOC president, Kirsty Coventry, who told me just after her election in March she was looking towards about protecting the women's sport category, and now it looks like we could get a decision ahead of the LA Olympics in 2028. It does follow pressure from the US President Donald Trump, who spoke about this on the campaign trail, then after getting into office, signed an executive order banning transgender women from women's sport in the United States. He vowed to
a bigger
end
seat.
the war on women's sports, as he put it. He said he would deny visas to athletes trying to compete at the LA Olympics in women's categories if they had gone through male puberty. Now, I also understand that there could also be a ban on athletes with differences of sex development also being prohibited.
Hello there.
From women's events. Now, if we think back to the Paris Olympics in 2024, there were no transgender women that we know of competing, but there was a very high-profile case in boxing. Amar Khalif, the Algerian, won gold in women's boxing. It was said she'd failed sex test in the past at a contested world boxing event. She insisted she was born a woman and lived as a woman, but certainly her case brought this issue into the spotlight. New rules in world boxing meant she would not go through the sex testing that were required.
Yeah, the shutdown ended.
Recent events, so she is someone who
My
could
hat.
be excluded from the Olympics going forward under all these policies. But a decision would have to be taken by the International Olympic Committee.
Which hat are you talking
In
about?
time for the Winter Olympics in Italy in February, but also IOC members are set to be discussing this more going
This
down.
hat-
I have just had a comment from the International Olympic Committee that they do say that an update was given by the IOC medical director to IOC members last week at the commission meetings. The working group is continuing its discussions on this topic and no decisions have been taken yet. So there is still a working
Now he has a
group
seat.
looking at this issue, but as things stand now, Sky News
He
understands
could sit
the
here.
International Olympic Committee is
Let's
moving
put-
towards a transgender in women's sporting events.
Yeah, so they're going to implement the ban. Okay, I think they're just kind of putting it out there.
Oh my
You know,
gosh.
this is gonna happen so that people go ahead and get their tears out of the way. They boo on and cry. Transphobic. The attacks against trans people are out of control. We already know what these people gonna say. We already
Thank you.
know. You understand? But you know, this is just common sense. I don't even understand why it took so long. Why?
That's right. If you have a dick, you're not a chick.
For this to be a thing, right?
It's facts.
But you know, hey,
Facts are facts.
better late than never, but never late is better. Okay. So this is a big win for biological women. It is an issue that is correcting itself, and it's because of the fact that it is an 80-20 issue, in the sense that everybody knows that it is unfair for biological males to compete against biological matter if the biological male has undergone hormone treatment or whatever. There's still advantages, and ultimately they can just compete amongst themselves. But as we've seen, they don't want to compete amongst themselves. They want to compete with biological women. They want to be in the spaces of biological women. They want to be in women's bathrooms, locker rooms. That's what they want, right? That's what they want. And anything less than what they want, they see as discrimination, as an attack on their rights.
The hell is going on?
Rights is simply just enforcing the reality of biology that everybody adheres to. It's been around for the beginning of mankind.
That's right.
And,
That's right.
So,
This is news.
at an international level,
Breaking news. Mango has breaking news. If you have a dick, you are not a chick. Get over it. Hello there. Gerzar Honker Z6W lowercase w. Hello there.
that a lot of these individuals like the idea of being able to win some type of championship, whether it be at the college level, at professional level, at the Olympics.
Don't you start being a weirdo too, bitch.
I'm trans, right? I'm trans, and I want to compete, okay? And it's much easier to win. So it looks like Leah Thomas's dreams of competing in the Olympics have officially been shattered, right? It's done. It's over. Right?
Why do you people like writing weird shit?
I think a couple years ago in weightlifting that competed, that was kind of a big deal.
You think Mango's sexy?
It looks like the Olympics.
But look at my crotch then, bitch.
If/when this becomes finalized. So it is just the world healing itself, right? From the.
I'm not a man, I'm a female.
But let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black Conservative perspective, please.
Excuse me. Fanny pack surfers, summer camp counselors. You need the new 340 GSM military grade bearskin hoodie to get comfortable in the wild. It's the ultimate.
What's my favorite ice cream flavor? I like mint chip ice cream.
Wherever you are. It's the only winter hoodie that's built for working, fishing, hunting.
You didn't ask me what my favorite flavor was.
Thousands of men around the world already love wearing the bearskin hoodie instead of their regular hoodies. With over 21,000
That mango means business.
reviews on Trustpilot. Plus, now you can attach.
Only at Northwest Arkansas National Airport can you catch seriously nice nonstop flights to Pensacola, Florida on Breeze Airways. Discover pristine white sand beaches and adventures waiting under the Gulf Coast sun. Start planning today only at flyxna.com.
Find amazing savings on the best electronics at NFN. From TVs and audio to laptops and cameras, our huge selection and expertise help you upgrade and innovate. NFN makes it easy with free pickup.
Oh, your wife does?
Options and convenient installation services. Only at NFN.
Well, happy birthday,
We're witnessing
Thelma
satisfying political
Ethel.
meltdown of 2025 after 43
Sorry, but
days, and not only the longest government shutdown in American history, but indeed the most pointless.
well, I hope she's having a wonderful birthday. Lunatic 5306.
Ceremony that forced the likes of MSNBC and CNN to broadcast one of the most vicious takedowns of the Democrats.
Oh yeah, let's get this party started.
Because this wasn't just any ending to a shutdown. This was a complete and total humiliation.
Break it down, Dr. Steve Turley.
They're already desperately trying to deflect, and even that desperation is already blowing up in their face. Hey, gang, it's me.
Happy birthday,
Professor here now.
Felipe.
As the far left desk,
I'm sorry, I can't say that name.
the unstoppable rise of the new conservative age that
That's right.
happen all over the world. So if you want a front row seat on how you're changing the world in ways you never even imagined, ceremony last night to officially end what was without question one of the biggest political miscalculations and blunders ever by the Democrats, the disastrous Schumer shutdown. And to add insult to injury, both MSNBC and CNN were forced to broadcast this.
For the past 7 weeks, the Democrats shut down as inflicted massive harm. They caused 20,000 flights to be canceled or delayed. They departed so many times, so late. People were hurt so badly. Nobody's ever seen anything like this one. This was a no-brainer. This was an easy extension. But they didn't want to do it the easy way. They had to do it the hard way. They look very bad, the Democrats do. They deprived more than 1 million government workers from their paychecks and cut off food stamp benefits for millions and millions more Americans in need. They caused tens of thousands of federal contractors and small businesses to go unpaid, and the total effect of the damage their antics caused will take weeks and probably months to really calculate accurately, including the serious harm that they did to our economy and to people and to families. So I just
No, this is breaking news. Shh.
tell the American people we should not forget.
It's breaking
this
news.
when we come up to midterms and other things.
Be good.
Don't forget what they've done to our country. I also want to call for a termination to the filibuster so that this can never happen again.
Now, the public humiliation began even before the historic Oval Office signing of the bill to reopen the government, despite the fact that Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries openly boasted that not a single Democrat would vote along with the Republicans in the House. He thought he had all his
Oh, you see it right there.
Again,
Got a Roku also. Don't try to steal stuff.
6 Democrats broke ranks.
Woohoo! It's about fucking damn time, bitches.
Kentucky, Greg Steube of Florida, the Democratic yes votes, Jared Golden of Maine, Adam Gray of California, Marie Glucica-Perez of Washington State.
Stop being a weirdo.
Davis of North Carolina, Henry Cuellar of Texas.
I like people that actually give a fuck about this country.
District Democrats breaking ranks with the party leadership, just fighting very hard, whipping their numbers to vote against it. But a handful of them broke ranks, joined the Republicans, and now this bill is on set to passage, and federal workers could probably go big.
Needless to say, there are already calls to have each and every one of those 6, along with the 8 Democrats in the Senate, primary, defeated, and excommunicated from their party. But it's too late. The damage has already been done. The Democrats were completely defeated in all of this. And both MSNBC and CNN have routinely had to admit that. Here's the old Chris Matthews on MSNBC pointing out that
No, mine is an Xbox One.
touch with the working class voter.
Exactly. So how does the Democratic Party, which is trying to talk to working class people again, but are all, highly educated and they live in urban places, how do they bridge that divide like he did?
Can I answer that?
Yeah, of course you can.
This is a tough question.
It's my show.
I don't know the whole answer. Josh Shapiro said, all right, we're going to stop this a little bit. We're going to get rid of the law that you have to be some college graduate to get a job in the state government. Pennsylvania doesn't have the law anymore. That's the first step you can make to say,
Your people.
We're all seeking office here. It isn't just for college grads. And I think there's a lot to that, The town versus gown has gotten to be political. The people that didn't get a college are voting for Trump. Why? Because of snobbery, an attitude. As we say in Philly, attitude.
Yeah, good luck with those gimmicks. I mean, not only have the Democrats lost touch with the working class, but then they add insult to injury by turning around and cutting off SNAP benefits for tens of millions of working families who need that assistance. Also, they can get tax-funded health care for illegals. And it's bad when the gaslighting begins. And CNN Scott Jennings wasn't having any of it.
I know a lot of Republicans, I know a lot of Democrats. They're cut from different cloths. Democrats simply don't have the cold-heartedness necessary to see people suffering and just say, let them eat cake. Yeah, but they are not the type that they're not.
I mean, you just heard Democrats.
And what is Donald Trump doing in the meantime?
He's the legislature.
No, he's the president of the United States. He's the most powerful president with Republicans in my lifetime. He never once even told them, come back to work.
We just played
You guys have been out of Washington for a month and a half.
Correct.
A month and a half.
And for Democrat to admit that the Democratic plan to prolong the shutdown was causing, quote, suffering. That was their words, not mine. Democrats themselves realized the tactic of suffering was no longer something they could personally stomach. That was their party, not Republicans.
Yeah, I mean, again, this is so patently absurd. It was the Democrats who shut down the government. It was the Democrats who caused all this pain and suffering.
I guess is this what you wanted to see?
Who's wailing and gnashing their teeth over the 8 Democrats who broke ranks to shut
It's
down
Steve
the
Turley. It's actually Steve Turley. He shows clips from them.
government shutdown ended when the Democrats folded. It's the Democrats caving. It's the Democrats surrendering that ended the
I don't know, but it's really nice.
the ones shutting it down. Again, we talked about this yesterday, but I think it's so instructive here. Pennsylvania Senator John Fetterman was on an NPR podcast.
He's my favorite Democrat. He's my only favorite Democrat.
Okay, but what about the Republicans kicking 20 million people off of Obamacare subsidies, right? This is exactly what the Democrats
Up to my TV? I don't know. I don't feel like breaking something.
all those people that the Republicans are going to kick off of Obamacare.
This is the last person I'm giving a shout out to. Lunatic 5306. Here to the pen pal, Louise Sassel.
The Republicans are not doing it. It was the Democrats who did that. Democrats designed those tax credits to expire at the end of this year. That's the Democrat Party's fault. That's not.
Are you dissing my Xbox? Don't you diss my Xbox, little girl. Woo!
More people, but they, not the Republicans, they, the Democrats.
You dissing my Xbox?
Expiration date of December 31st, 2025. It's the Democrats who took that subsidy away, not the Republicans.
Nah, no, thank you.
Anna Navarro's had in the entirety of her sad and pathetic, inconsequential life.
What the hell is that thing? Let me see it.
You wash your whole body every day, so why don't you wash your whole mouth? Listerine and wash your mouth.
So nervous. Are you guys nervous? You should definitely be nervous.
Oh, somebody told me to get a PlayStation. No? I'm talking to other people. What's so funny about being called schizo?
More standard horsepower than Cadillac Escalade, Lincoln Navigator, and BMW X7.
John Fetterman tells the truth while Anna Navarro wakes up every morning and asks, how can I gaslight the American? How can I lie over and over again today? And Scott Jennings just called her out on it. So nothing's working. The shutdown isn't working. The gaslighting isn't working. The party's coming apart. So now the Democrats are trying something even more desperate. And it's already blowing up in their face. Wait until you see this. But first, I just found out something wild about coffee. I love coffee. I can't even imagine spending a day without coffee. But studies show that within just over an hour, regular coffee made people's arteries actually go rock hard, like copper pipes. And when your arteries harden, you can't do the things that you used to do, like mountain biking, running, pickleball. You gotta soften them up. You want them pliable, rubber, youthful. And that's where NMN comes in. Scientists gave some old mice NMN for 12 weeks, and their rock hard arteries became elastic again. Failure and defeat this was for the Democrats. You need look no further than the fact that guess who's back in the news? Who are the Democrats once again digging up from the dead just in time to cover up their colossal defeat? Of course, it's none other than Jeffrey Epstein. That's right. Jeffrey Epstein. Now we'll get Trump. This is the smoking gun that'll finally bring this pedo down. I mean, it's so pathetically predictable. And even the White House is calling it out as nothing more than a blatantly desperate attempt at stealing the headlines away from this brutal, and I mean utterly brutal defeat for the Democrats. CNN, MSNBC, ABC, CBS, they all know Democrats have egg on their face about this government shutdown. So they're trying to psyop the low information viewer masses by focusing on Epstein disinformation instead. So they cherry-picked a few emails that make this ridiculously vague association between Trump and Epstein. And then, of course, all the legacy media outlets run with it to cover up this total shutdown humiliation. And so, to their credit, in response, the Republicans just dropped 20,000 Epstein emails. Again, this is Democrat desperation that only ends up once again backfiring spectacularly. So originally what the Democrats did is they made public a few emails included in the 2011 exchange between Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell that described Trump as the dog that hasn't barked yet, referencing a victim who spent time with Trump at Epstein's house.
Hello, Elvis 970. I can be your mom.
Unfortunately, just took her own life.
I can be your mom if you need me to. I could bake you some cookies.
Blotted out her name from emails because she had previously testified under oath that Trump never engaged in any wrongdoing, never acted inappropriately with her, and that she never saw Trump and Epstein together or at Epstein's homes. And so Republicans on the House Oversight Committee responded to those cherry-picked emails by releasing all 20,000 documents from Epstein's estate, providing complete transparency and context. And Democrats were livid.
That's what Mango just said. He could be your mommy. Oh, yeah.
To distract from their selective revelations. I mean, seriously, the irony in all of this is beyond comical. Democrats cherry-picked 3 emails to create a vague, ambiguous narrative. Then
If you think so.
Republicans
Oh,
released
yeah.
everything for full context. Again, it's such an obvious and desperate attempt to distract from their government shutdown.
Oh, whoa, 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 whoa.
Bottom line, all throughout the shutdown, Republicans controlled the agenda and refused to budge. They made one thing crystal clear. This is the only deal on the table. It's a continuing resolution, the same continuing resolution you signed numerous times, but most recently...
Well, I can't drive now. I'm an old granny.
The winners are the ones who walk away with the exact same offer they had on day one. The loser is the one that makes all the concessions. Trump, Thune, Johnson, they won. That's the Republican Party that wins. Democrats inflicted 40 days of pain on military members, TSA workers, air traffic controllers, law enforcement, and they got nothing in return except a bunch of anxiety and a political black eye heading into the midterms. Okay, this is what winning looks like. This is what happens where Republicans finally grow a spine and actually hold the line. If you've ever wondered how we got to this point, this woke confusion about truth, family, and morality, you need to read The Abolition of Man by C.S. Lewis. I'm leading a 7-week live book study through it with our Courageous Patriot community, and I'd love to give you a free preview. You'll get the first episode and a digital copy of the book absolutely free. Head to Turley.com.
Let's go to the candy shop, everyone. Oh, yeah.
Trust me on this.
Oh, yeah. Boo!
Looks like Dad's getting socks for Christmas again.
This time, it's beige.
You need the new 340 GSM military grade bearskin hoodie to get comfortable in the wild. It's the ultimate 10-pocket tactical hoodie that blocks wind, repels rain, and regulates heat for incredible comfort wherever.
Yeah, I know it's the bozo Democrats' fault. They can go suck a wiener hard. That's the bozo Democrats' fault, just so you know. Hee hee ha. No, it's the Democrats' fault. The Democrats refuse to vote. The Democrats refuse to have 6 people vote.
Say yes to this ride-on golf cart. And for larger vehicles, Sam's Club roadside assistance.
Well, it sure as hell isn't my fault.
Pants and pork rinds.
But I didn't do anything. I'm a mango.
And express delivery. Sit down, fellas. This is based on a true story. Say yes to Sam's Club's baked goods and to custom.
Well, that's good.
Here you go, Chris.
I love it. It's perfect. Say yes to what you want this holiday and to the joy of Sam's Club.
What happens when a sitting Democrat senator absolutely blindsides and obliterates a far-left media?
Guys, let's see if we can get to 10 likes, everyone. 10 likes!
Just the beginning. What if since then he's been repeatedly throwing his own party under the bus? And what do these shocking moments reveal about the seismic shift happening in American politics right now? Make sure to stick them to the very end of this video because we're about to see something absolutely extraordinary. Something we literally never see.
I am in
Major
outer
Democrat
space.
telling the truth. And
Hello.
the casualty is his own imploding. Back in the studio, here to help you make sense of the madness as the far left desperately tries to stop the unstoppable rise of a new conservative age.
Does this freak people out? Does this freak people out? Who does this freak out?
Bell and subscribe button. The one and only Pennsylvania Senator John Fetterman is once again turning heads, but this time he has literally everyone stunned after breaking ranks and voting repeatedly and consistently to end the 41-day government shutdown initiated by his own party. He went on ABC's The View, that panel of ultra-repulsive woke sycophants who decided it would be a good idea to confront him on betraying the Democrats.
Ooh, they're gonna Oh my God!
Horrific mistake. Governor Gavin Newsom called it pathetic and a surrender. Poll after poll found more Americans on both sides of the aisle blaming Republicans. Even Marjorie Taylor Greene blamed the GOP. As you mentioned, Democrats had big wins, so you had momentum. Why give in now? Why bring a butter knife to a gunfight? Are you willing to gamble that the GOP will negotiate on health care in good faith once the government reopens? Because if that gamble is wrong, 500,000 Pennsylvanians that you represent, their health care costs will skyrocket if you are wrong. And I believe you are wrong.
Well, first of all, MTG is quite literally the last person in America that I'm going to take advice or to get their kinds of my liquor shipping values from. And now if Democrats are celebrating crazy pants like that, then that's on them. And I don't need a lecture. I don't need a lecture from whether it's Bernie or the governor in California, because they are representing very deep blue kinds of populations, and a lot of those things were part of the extreme. And now remember, what really needs to win, the big win, is involving my state and other states in those things. And why have we arrived here after the election a year ago? We got to forget some of the things that cost us that election, or now for me, it's like, that's why I'm trying to remind people that kinds of the extremism, we can't return to those kind of things and realize we need to find a way forward. And I would like to, rather than cite MTG, I'm going to cite one of the new governor-elects saying that my election is not a green light to continue the shutdown, because I promise you, this isn't a political game. It is viewed by many of us, but the reality is 42 million Americans now not sure where their next meal is going to come from, and because we vote like that. Or people that haven't been paid for 5 weeks now, and that kinds of chaos. Those workers borrow more than $500 million, from their credit union just to pay their bills now. So for me, in the middle of this.
Senator, I gotta ask you to hold up this.
Wow. I mean, Fetterman's response was absolutely devastating there. But point of order. Take note what the Democrats always do when someone on our side makes a comment or two, like Marjorie Taylor Greene did, that appeared critical of Trump and the Republicans. What do Democrats always do? They always weaponize it. And always weaponize it against those they think are their enemy. That's what Democrats do. They are what we call radical perspectivalists. That's the technical term. They simply cannot think in nuance. They're literally incapable of it. You're either with them or you're against them. And they purposely got MTG to say a couple of disparaging things against Trump and the GOP for the precise purpose of weaponizing her words. This is why she's such a political idiot to go on their show. But that said, Fetterman didn't back down. He reminded everyone in that posh LA studio that the nation is not California. The nation as a whole does not reflect the ultra.
Hello, how's everyone doing?
Our coastal elite revel in California. Just ask your former Senator Kamala Harris. Americans.
You're from Connecticut? What's it like in Connecticut?
Pennsylvanians than they do Californians. And I love what he said. Fetterman said,
We have one more like to go, guys, till we get 10. Oh yeah! Hello!
Far more to the left than mainstream Americans. And mainstream Americans wanted this shutdown, this utterly pointless, absurd Schumer shutdown to end.
Oh yeah. Winter is almost here, yeah.
That healthcare premiums are about to explode because of this December 31st expiration of the Obamacare tax subsidies. Republicans are going to.
Oh yeah, we are deranged and we love it. It's 47 degrees there. That's chilly. Do you want to see my cat Archie? No one likes NPR. Go to hell, NPR. Are you talking about Archie? Archie doesn't have nipples. Hi, your local tech nerd. How are you? This is Archie. He's orange. That's my other cat, Alice, who's on my crap list. She's walked in my room. Be good, Alice. Be good. Oh, sorry, you're a local tech nerd. You can't get a cat. And this is Mango. Hello there. Get this dumb package. Hi. Oh, my phone died, so I'm here again, guys. Yay! We did it! We got 10 likes! Yay! Oh yeah!
It's a byproduct of a broken system. But here's the amazing.
Oh, what does this guy have to say now?
Can break free, just like I did with PhD weight loss.
Oh yeah! We did it, everyone! We did it! We did it! We freaking did it! And then we went And we beat Joe Grandma with a baseball bat. Everybody go, yeah!
All throughout the entire process, I was able to come off my cholesterol meds, my blood pressure meds, and I don't snore anymore. My wife's very happy about that. It's true. I sleep better. I feel younger, and
That's because you eat canned cranberries for fun.
And without starving myself. In fact,
That you think Trump is dumb? That's because you eat cranberries from a can. You think you're the man, but you eat cranberries from a can. Oh yeah.
It's our chance to reclaim our health, to take back
Oh yeah, there. Hello.
And overweight. At PhD Weight Loss, you learn things like why stress, hormones, and thyroid issues block fat loss, and why cookie cutter diets fail, and how to finally get a
hard leftist to a centrist.
Very few people realize just how dramatic John Fetterman's evolution has been. I mean, back in 2022, he was like the progressive. He was the national progressive champion. He actually outflanked Conor Lamb to get the Democrat nomination by convincing the base that he would be counted on to advance the far left agenda. They were right to believe it at the time. He was a big Bernie Sanders endorser, proudly identified himself as progressive all throughout his campaign. But then, stunningly, just something seemed to happen. Today, Fetterman explicitly rejects that label. He actually refers to himself increasingly, I kid you not, as America First. Somebody who always puts country before party. Fetterman has been opening up of late, crediting the stroke that he had a few years back with just giving him a new sense of life, a newfound freedom to speak his mind, describing that near-death experience as teaching him not to fear political blowback, giving him extraordinary courage to stand up against party interests and defend the people instead. I mean, since recovering, Fetterman has adopted positions that frankly horrify his former progressive allies. Unwavering support for Israel during the Gaza war, calls for stricter border security and immigration, demands that Democrats acknowledge the immigration crisis. I mean, his transformation particularly manifested after the October 7th Hamas attacks. So unlike progressive colleagues who were calling for ceasefires, Fetterman became the Senate's single most vocal Israel defender, waving Israeli flags at protesters and dismissing critics at getting their worldview from TikTok. On immigration, he's acknowledged
Hello there.
Border policy under Biden, supporting strict
What's popping with everybody?
border security investments. Again, this is a Democrat.
Oh yeah.
It's a shocking position for someone who once championed comprehensive immigration reform. Former campaign staffers called his stance a gutting betrayal, while protesters dubbed him Genocide John. Yet polling shows his positions align with the vast majority of Pennsylvania voters, suggesting the shift reflects both personal conviction after confronting mortality, as well as shrewd political calculation for a purple state senator. You see, what the ultra-left has yet to understand that John Fetterman clearly does, is that our politics have realigned away from a hard left versus right horizontal divide to now a more populist vertical divide. The divide is no longer between Democrats and Republicans per se, since more and more people frankly see no difference between the two parties. They both seem to work for the same donors, same lobbyists. They both seem to cater to the same special interests. And so more and more voters, especially in Pennsylvania, see the real political divide as verticals between the people versus the political class, the ordinary American versus the oligarch. And so that's why you see John Fetterman putting people before party, patriotism before partisanship. It's Sunny Hollow, ladies at the View, that fail to understand this historical moment, this incredible political realignment that we're in. The political realignment is not coming, it's here. And the establishment's response is to course, but to double down on the very tactics that got them. That's why Fetterman's defiance, Schumer's collapse, and these confrontations matter. They're proof that more Americans cost them politically. I don't know what John Fetterman is going to do from here. More and more of his own party are turning against him, all the while more and more Republicans are cheering him on and embracing him. Will he switch parties? Only time will tell. But until then, I believe we're going to continue to see the extraordinary transformation of John Fetterman continue, one that promises to transform us all.
Pre-order the Vault Edition now.
Just look at the difference between this eye and this eye. Like, wow, wow, wow. Getting ready for a holiday party. I want to show you guys how much of a difference the L'Oreal Panorama Mascara. So watch the way it elevates.
Okay, thank you, whoever did that.
Before the lashes. So what I love about this brush is that it's a multi-level brush, which means it grabs each lash for the even application. One of the things I look for in a good mascara during the holiday season is long-lasting volume, and this does just that. These are my lashes now that my glam is complete. Can't tell me this didn't make the biggest difference to my glam. The results are priceless.
One bag, infinite possibilities. Kate Spade.
Hello, everyone.
When you're studying for stats and the charts all look like logs, you can just ask Google and Chrome to do the heavy lifting. Oh. You're so going to ace this. Knock on wood.
When it's time for lefties losing it, and we've seen some astonishing stuff in this segment. We've heard from liars, gaslighters, the deluded, the deranged, and the dull-witted. And I'm about to play you a clip that brings a lot of those elements together. Here is CNN's Abby Phillip talking to former MSNBC anchor and conspiracy theorist Joy Reid. The projection here is incredible.
Conservatives are living in a completely different information world than liberals. And breaking that down needs to be done. Because when you don't ever even hear the facts,
Hello, everyone.
you know that you're wrong. And that happens a lot.
Wow, just wow. First, she says facts. She means her demented opinions, not actual facts. And a reminder, she's been wrong on just about every consequential issue in recent years, along with Joy Reid, whose podcast she seems to be appearing on. Joy Reid, not too long ago, was pushing conspiracy theories about Donald Trump not really being hit with a bullet in Butler, Pennsylvania. She's as loopy as they come, but she's on the same side as self-delighted, self-aggrandizer Abby.
Half my job sometimes is knowing what the latest conspiracy is, so that if it comes up, I'm ready to...
Hello, everyone.
Because it happens a lot where people don't even know that what they're saying or what they've seen and believe is not true. And so that happens a lot, and I don't come away from that saying, what's the point of this? People are just saying false things. I think that one time that person brings up something that is debunked and false, and I debunk it at the table, might be the very first time that someone out there has heard an alternative point of view.
Yes, we conservatives really need Abby Phillip, the hopelessly biased, hopelessly wrong Abby Phillip, to debunk lies for us. Let's have a look at her recent fall.
It's clear as day. The FBI put out statistics. Crime is going down. You don't have to twist the facts. The FBI quietly comes out with this new data that shows actually violent crime is up 4.5% during that time frame. The only person making an accusation that people are not getting what they've asked for is Trump, falsely claiming that the administration is withholding resources because of political affiliation. That is just not.
Well, the Federal Emergency Management Agency is facing major backlash after confirming reports that a supervisor ordered disaster relief workers to avoid homes with Trump yard signs.
There's actually not any evidence linking any of Hunter Biden's wrongdoings to Joe Biden. Or I'm correct. You think that Biden would actually pardon Hunter Biden, despite him saying pretty... Yes, as a father, he would. Now,
He's going to get pardoned by his dad. There's no question about that.
the president has ruled out pardoning his son.
Breaking news. President Biden has just pardoned his son. There's so much more, and thanks to Maze Moore for that great compilation. Now to another CNN simpleton, Brian Stelter, who has launched a spirited defence of the BBC after the British broadcaster...
Hi, how's everyone doing?
...and deliberately doctored footage of President Trump's January 6th speech. Stelter is writing articles and a slew of typically stupid tweets claiming things like the BBC is feeling the Trump squeeze. It's a move we have seen several times this year against vulnerable media companies. The BBC is not vulnerable. It's a taxpayer-funded Goliath. It's funded by a mandatory license fee paid by households, and it receives close to £4 billion per annum. But those sort of facts are clearly beyond Brian. Joining me now is filmmaker and commentator Ami Horowitz. Ami, more on the BBC scandal that has seen the resignation of the BBC's Director General Tim Davie and Head of News Deborah Turness after the taxpayer-funded broadcaster aired deliberately and dishonestly doctored footage of Donald Trump's January 6th speech. But despite the BBC's history of institutional bias, the British left is circling the wagons as Donald Trump demands accountability. Let's hear from Tim Davie.
We have to be very clear and stand up for our journalism. We are a unique and precious organisation. And I see the free press. I see the under pressure. I see the weaponisation. I think we've got to fight for our journalism. I'm really proud of our work and the amazing work locally, globally that we're doing is utterly precious.
Unique and precious, really. Let's hear from Liberal Democrat MP Manira Wilson, who is terrified by the prospect of what she calls the Trumpification of our politics and media. Get ready to lose some brain cells.
When Donald Trump got involved and called the BBC corrupt, that we've had these two resignations overnight, and we've now had his press secretary claiming this as a victory for Trump. Now, the BBC belongs to Britain, and I think we should all be concerned whether it's foreign powers or indeed domestic powers, and we know that there are the likes of Farage and Reform who would love to see the BBC destroyed. That really worries me, because we cannot see the Trumpification of our politics and our media landscape. We've seen what that's done in America. So this is a moment for the BBC to reset and restore trust.
Army, they really are terrified of any sort of accountability. And let's not forget, the BBC is taxpayer funded. Brits are obliged to pay for this leftist activist machine.
Yeah, what a grift. They pay $20 a month. Okay, that's more than Netflix. Okay, I don't know if that comes out to an Australian dollar, like $1,000. I can't do the math in my head. But very interestingly, okay, but very interestingly, if you're blind, you're getting 50% discount. I'm not joking. And if you have a black and white television, you get a 66% discount. So go figure. There's deals to be had at BBC. Oh God. Look, the truth is I learned so much from the BBC. For example, did you know that male breast milk is just as nutritious as female breast milk? I bet you didn't know that, yes. Because they have so much invested in men being women. They did a story on how if you pump a man with enough hormones, he will secrete milk. Oh God, I wanna vote my mind. Yeah. God.
Hi, everybody.
No, they're the worst. They're the absolute worst. And it's always so funny to me when my liberal friends here, they always go, American news is such BS. CNN and Fox News is garbage. I listen to the BBC. Oh my God, the effect reaction is so gross. No, the BBC is awful. But let's not forget that during the Gaza conflict, they did a documentary on Gaza. And the narrator of this
documentary with the son of a Hamas minister.
I don't know. I don't know if that's true or not, but to me, that's just hearsay.
There's no wonder that GB News, which is according to the center right, the right outlet there, is eating their lunch. They are now, for 4 months in a row, the #1 news channel in England. It's no wonder. They failed all across the board.
Well, that's extraordinary. I didn't know that because GB News, their resources are tiny compared to the BBC, and every household with a television is obliged to give them money, as you explained. Now, Nigel Farage, whose Reform Party is leading the polls, was also asked about Donald Trump putting pressure on the BBC. This was his response.
What do you make of President Trump weighing into the conversation about the BBC and the British media landscape? Do you welcome that, or does that concern you?
Well, if I was the President of the United States of America, if I was the person making sure that the United Kingdom had security guarantees that meant that it could be defended, whereas on its own it would be helpless, and I'd been stitched up on the eve of a national election. I mean, people talk about election interference. What the BBC did was election interference. If you put yourself in Donald Trump's shoes, I think you'll understand why, when I had a chat with him on Friday, he made his feelings on the subject known to me in no uncertain terms and not in a quotable form.
I really do want to know what he said precisely, but the British media army, the left, will try to use this to damage Nigel Farage, given the relentless negative media Donald Trump receives in Britain. They believe they can hurt Farage because of his closeness to the president. But it hasn't hurt him yet. Look at this. Reform, as you can see, is well ahead of Labour and the Tories. That could be the next British Prime Minister. But there is just this, as you touched on, this preoccupation with just how terrible politics and the media is in the US and how much more...
Yep, your mommy's still here.
...they are in the UK.
Your mommy's still here. His name is Mango.
Yeah, get ready to say Prime Minister Farage. The Conservative Party, whose lunch he's eating, is not the party of Margaret Thatcher. That's for sure. As the great poet, philosopher Monty Python says, it has ceased to be. The Conservative Party has been hemorrhaging voters and votes. They had a local election, and they were trounced by the Reform Party. And there's sort of an exit of a Brexit, if you will, of Conservative members going toward the Reform Party. The Conservative Party had 16 local councils to defend. They lost 16 out of 16. That's just not going to do it. If you look at what the polls are saying in terms of what British voters want, well, far and away, the #1 issue is immigration. And that's where the Reform Party shines. The Conservative Party has been echoing much of the sentiment of the Labour Party, frankly, when it comes to immigration. The #2 issue is the NHS, the National Health Service. That's a total tire fire. A tire fire.
Hello, everybody.
The Labour Party, but also under the Conservative Party. What you have to understand, certainly for our American viewers, is that the politics in England is different than the American political process. And same with you guys, is that in their process, like the Conservative Party is more like the middle of the road Democrats, and the Labour Party are more like the Squad. They're really become far left, and it's just not getting done. And now the Conservative Party is kind of getting hip to that, and they're trying to out-Catholic the Pope. And they have a new leader, and she's trying to out-reform the Reform Party. But the polls are showing that the voters aren't buying it. So yeah, it's a fascinating mix of what's going on there.
They've been burnt too many times, the Brits. The Tories say all the right things, kind of like those rhinos, say all the right things before an election, and then they get into power and they govern like they're from the left. And now that there is a reform option, as you saw in the polling, they're getting
Hi, everybody.
a lot of support. Now, I mean, we will get to the Jeffrey Epstein saga, but first I want to play you a clip from a drag queen named Ariel who explains her devotion to the New York City Mayor-elect Zoran Mamdani.
It gives me, maybe for the first time in my life in American politics, a real sense of hope. To actually have a politician that I really believe in and that I feel like really stands up for the people I care about most.
That's because Trump doesn't know who I am. That's because he doesn't understand who I am. Oh, yeah. Hello there. Hello. Girlfriend.
There you go, who really cares about Muslims, the trans community, Jews. You're a Jewish New Yorker. Do you agree with Ariel there? Is Zoran committed to make your life better?
A Muslim, a trans, and a Jew walk into a bar. That's a party. Look, she was very sweet. I'm a sucker for a crying lady. What can I tell you? Okay, what was your question again? Do I feel safer as a Jew with Mamdani? Yeah, I'm going to go with no on that. I'm going to go with no. You know, it's so, and I've mentioned this before, and it bears repeating, right? So when you go to synagogue here in New York, and other cities in America, but I'll speak about New York, there's security threats. We have to
Hello, everybody.
For security to stand in front of our synagogue. And during Bloomberg, what Bloomberg would do is he gave us a police officer. The police officer would go to, and they would station a squad car outside of every major synagogue. And then during Bolshevik Bill de Blasio, he took that away. He said no more police officers in front of synagogues under the Mamdani regime. And put aside all the Jewish issues, but yeah, let's play a game. You like games? I love games. Let's play a game called Did He Say These Words? Okay? Did Mamdani say the words, violence is an artificial construction? Yes, he did. When asked about prisons, he said, did he say, what purpose do they serve? Yes, he did. He's a madman. He's going to destroy New York City. So I don't feel safe here as a Jew. I don't feel safe here as a New Yorker. No American will feel safe in the new New York City, made under the model of Zoran Mamdani.
Well, you're going to have a lot of sort of social workers doing group hugs with everybody, so maybe not as many police officers, but there'll be some alternative that I'm sure will work beautifully. Now, let's get to the latest.
Guys, we're going to day drink right now. We're going to day drink. Day drink time.
Between discredited author Michael Wolff.
Let's play the game. Let's play it. Hello, everybody. Hello. Hi. everybody. I'm getting ready to play a game. It's a fun game. It's called Senator. If you're above age, drink. Drink with me. Be merry and drink. Be merry, get married, and drink. Oh, you'll love it. It's going to be a blast. I'm making my strawberry Rita drink. No, shut up. Hell fucking no. He's better a president than he is a stripper. Holy crap. That. Well, now we're going to be playing the game called Senator. Grab a drink if you're legal. I am drinking 2 cans of strawberry Rita. What are you drinking? That's the... No. Says who, you? Okay. Hello. Good for you. Hello, everyone. All right. Getting ready for my game. I'm not a carb addict. I eat a lot of fruits, vegetables, like I eat a lot of yogurt. Like, you don't even know me, dude. That's Archie. Archie. That's Alice. Okay, so I'm not allowed to have popcorn? Dude, get a fucking life. Excuse me.
She's just doing anything she can to grasp and keeping herself in her place.
Now, before you go, queer characters have been slashed from TV shows amid a massive U-turn on woke DEI policies and initiatives in the US, with Deadline reporting that around 41% of the 489 LGBTQ characters that were on the small screen this year, well, they won't be returning, with further cancellations also arriving.
How does that help my channel?
Is this a case of the market speaking? Are viewers just sick of the over-representation?
Absolutely. And the networks should have seen this coming. I mean, it was one of the major pillars of Donald Trump's election campaign, was getting rid of all this DEI and all this woke rubbish. And some of these programs, they just make it feel uncomfortable.
The sweater is actually bigger on me.
And if you feel as though you're being given a lecture rather than being able to just relax and enjoy a story unfolding, you can hear them scratching and ticking the DEI boxes in the background. We don't want that, and that's not what people wanted. It's not what the people of America voted for.
You are so right.
This is how I actually look. The sweater is big on me.
Yeah, it's the box ticking. It's just when it's absolutely unnecessary, and you can almost see they're putting together.
Well, you could not be an asshole. You could call me. You could be just nice. It's, yeah. Hello.
Here's why you need to go to Slumberland to buy yourself a Tempur-Pedic mattress. It's got proprietary Tempur material. I used to get a lot of back pain, but now I don't concentrate like I used to. I love that this has cooled the touch.
Oh, well.
It's like a beautiful cloud.
I thank Senator Johnson. It is day 38 of the Schumer shutdown.
expensive food is getting for everybody across the globe. This trend is disgusting to me for so many different reasons.
Okay, so we're gonna be watching. Her name is Halo Haley, and so we're gonna play a drinking game, and it's gonna be called I'm Good. How are you? So if you think this trend is stupid, take a drink. I'm drinking a strawberry Rita. If you're legal, drink. If you're not, have some tea and enjoy it. Oops, whoops, sorry. Sorry, the other person. Hey, how are you? I accidentally put in one person on timeout that I didn't mean to. Oh, this person is commenting about my fucking weight. I'm like, I'm getting sick and tired of it. I know I could ignore it, but it's fucking annoying. Anyway, so we are going to play a drinking game, people. Let's get at it. I'm going to get my, oh, my weights, those things. I'm drinking a strawberry Rita. Anyway, so this is, if you think it's stupid, take a drink. So we're going to be looking at, yes, I love those. They're lovely. Anyway, so I've got it in a thing. Yeah. That guy was all like, oh, there's a fat girl inside you just waiting to burst out. I'm like, I'm not fat. I've actually been working hard to lose weight. What the fuck does he know? Good for him that he lost 80 pounds, but he doesn't need to tell other people that. He doesn't need to be an asshole. Okay. So, plug this in. So now I have more control. He's gay on his profile. He's gay on his profile. He's gay on his... Oh my gosh. Not that there's anything wrong with being gay. Okay, so let's do this.
Because there are people right now filling the drawers in their refrigerators up with gallons of milk to, quote, dunk their cookies in. And not only is this incredibly wasteful, but it's just genuine.
Alright, I'm taking a drink. Because that is the stupidest shit I've ever fucking seen. Who in the hell does that? Alright, there you go. That is dumb.
Gross and borderline unsafe to go. I hate everything about that video because firstly, in this cost of living crisis that we're all currently experiencing right now, milk is not cheap. A half gallon of milk in the US right now can go up to $5. And because you have to use a couple of gallons of milk in order to fill an entire drawer in your fridge up with milk, that means you're probably spending anywhere near $20 with the knowledge that you're just going to throw all of this milk away. Secondly, I know for a fact this is getting thrown away afterwards, because even if their refrigerator drawers were cleaned before the filming of this video, it is still extremely unsanitary to do. You can definitely still continue using this milk if you want to. I'm not stopping you. But you're risking illness because of how many germs and how much bacteria and the crumbs and the grime and the dirt from the previous fresh produce that was previously stored in that drawer now sits in your milk. All of that is what you're going to be drinking. So you're either drinking filthy cookie-tinged milk, or you're tipping it down the sink as soon as the camera turns off. Both of which are disgusting. And lastly, you've just permanently destroyed the smell of your fridge for the rest of its life. If you've ever spilled a dairy product in your life, especially a lot of dairy, you would know that no matter how much you clean it, that stench of milk will never go away. There will always be a hint of cream. But hey, I guess the couple 100,000 Instagram likes is worth it, am I right? Then we have people who are making pasta salad inside of the drawers of their fridge by not washing any of the produce they bought beforehand, or even bothering to chop up any of the vegetables into smaller portions to make it easier to eat, if they are actually eating any of this. Then, to make a bad situation worse, they dump packets of deli meats and packaged cheese with an entire bottle of salad dressing that will take months to get rid of the smell. I just don't understand the point of any of this. If I came to your holiday party and I saw that you were serving everybody in attendance a serving of pasta from the drawer of your fridge, I would leave immediately and you would never see me again, because ain't no way I want the seasoning in my pasta salad to be the crime from your fridge. But everybody knows that this was done for views. So what happens with this food afterwards? Because you cannot sit there and tell me that you are legitimately going to eat unwashed chunks of whole vegetables with cheese doused in an entire bottle of dressing that it didn't need. So unless you take everything out of the fridge drawer after filming, rinse all of the vegetables and cut them as well as the pepperoni into appropriate sized portion pieces, and unless you're happy to eat the gunk from your fridge in your meal, then I highly doubt it isn't getting wasted after the camera stops recording. And when we live in an economic climate where a bag of cheese is over $10, I just can't stand people using their money to buy food, not to eat and consume, but to play with as if it's a toy for social media interaction. Was that just not the most disgusting video that you've ever seen in your life? The noises of the puree hitting the fridge, that horrific colour in that drawer of mush. It genuinely made me nauseous. The smell, oh my god. Whether or not this is rage bait doesn't matter. Not only did you squeeze pouches that you already had into this drawer when you could have used them to feed your child, but to make it even worse, you genuinely went out of your way to buy an entire brand new jar of applesauce with the intention of wasting it. That was the only reason you bought the applesauce. It's just pathetic, because there are millions of single mothers out there who are struggling to...
I'm taking a drink. This is stupid. Oh.
feed their kids as they're living paycheck to paycheck, And the thought that one of them could be watching this video actually enrages me. But hey, at least you got some views, huh? That's all that matters. Because kids don't have a strong enough immune system to handle the potential risk of eating from a germ-filled environment like that. And don't even get me started on the real, legitimate trend that you can actually Google on the internet where people were making huge batches of tiramisu in the drawers of their fridges so that they could scoop out a heaping whenever they wanted, as if there's 16 people that all live under the same roof that all just so happen to love tiramisu that can consume this entire batch before it expires in a couple of days. Is that what it's like to be rich? To just, on a whim, buy a brand spanking new $5,000 designer refrigerator, and the first thing that you decide to do with this brand new fridge is not to organize your food, but to destroy the damn thing as soon as it gets delivered, like right as it's out of the box, by making a ginormous slop of tiramisu in that drawer so that your brand new fridge already smells terrible and to be extremely tedious to clean, not even within a week of owning it, because nobody eats that much tiramisu. So almost all of that will end up in the trash. And if you think that it's not as bad because she was making it in a brand new fridge, so it's not as gross because it's new, just know that people who've owned their fridges for several years are cleaning their drawers just to be able to do this. And I don't know if it's just that everybody is too easily influenced now, or if it's just a bizarre form of laziness. Because if you want a big batch of tiramisu, just buy a party tray.
The thing about long-term relationships is sometimes you need to spice things up. Look at that. Crispy chicken from Taco Bell, a brand new classic. You're welcome.
From the grocery store. Or make it yourself at home and store it in a bigger pan. It really is not that hard. Y'all seriously have the potential of making yourselves really sick by doing this stupid trend because of social media delusion and wanting attention. And moving on from the ridiculous fridge food content, we also now have people giving young girls online advice on how to consume as little food as they possibly can by intentionally destroying ice cream and cookies with pepper and pickle juice to make it completely inedible. I hate this. I absolutely loathe it. Not just because you're insinuating that only hot girls don't eat, but because you're promoting a very toxic eating behavior that will do nothing but create an extreme...
That's stupid. I'm going to take a drink. Wow, this is a great trend. This is a great game. Yeah. What a waste of fucking food.
Relationship with food for young girls that just so happen to accidentally stumble across a video like this while they're scrolling. And what I hate even more is the fact that you weren't overly full. Hell, you weren't even full because there was not a single cookie crumb on that plate or a single bite taken out of that cookie, and there was not one spoon mark in that ice cream to indicate that somebody had scooped a bite out of it or any sort of melted cream around it, which means you purposely wasted food specifically for this video, and you hadn't even taken a single bite out of it yourself. I can't even tell if that's worse than if you had taken a bite out of it. It just sickens me that people are willing to use the bodies of these animals, not for anything useful or nourishing, but just to shove its entire body into a toilet bowl and then stuff an entire orange into it, followed by a whole apple, a whole onion, and a whole stick of unprepared celery.
Gross.
A bunch of different seasonings that's going to leave your toilet bowl smelling foul for the rest of the week, and then wasting an entire box of stuffing mix on the very top of it when it's not supposed to go in there, and a stick of butter for absolutely no reason. Is this how desperate people are for clout now? Using their own hard-earned money to waste the expensive body of a turkey who died for this stupid video that could have been bought by another person who would use it to actually feed their family? Do we have any sort of respect anymore? I know the animal isn't alive anymore, but we can still treat it with respect. This just makes me angry. And it's videos like this where the word restock is used so wildly wrong, because pouring 2 entire bottles of Starbucks coffee into a giant mug that is supposed to last over several days and completely destroying any sort of longevity it previously had by adding a bunch of creamer and whipped cream and caramel sauce onto the very top of it so it melts into the drink, which means you can no longer salvage the original brew and will have no other choice but to tip the whole drink down the drain because, well, I mean, you can't drink all of that in a day. Not only is that impossible, but after a few hours, it will just turn room temperature and gross. But also because there is absolutely no chance that is going into the fridge. Not only will it not fit in there because of the sheer size of the mug, but it won't even be good overnight because of the additives to the coffee. So what do you get out of making this ridiculous and unnecessarily wasteful video? Then, in this video, I'm not sure if this is rage bait or if this is some sort of weird fetish, but this girl says that when she's bored, she likes to spend $15 on a bowl of salsa that could feed 10 people, then rub a Vaseline on her hands and completely contaminate the entire bowl of salsa
Fuck you.
to make it possible to eat afterwards by submerging her dirty hands into the bowl and making the dip taste like petroleum jelly. I'm not sure what's worse, knowingly wasting food for followers or unknowingly wasting food probably daily because of how gullible and irresponsible you are. I don't know what's worse. If you're bored, maybe go for a walk, play a video game, clean something in your house that's overdue for a clean, call a friend, go out and run some errands.
Hi, how are you?
Now, this one isn't exactly food waste, but it also kind of is because you've bought smaller jars than all of this milk can fit into. So, number one, why did you buy that much milk in the first place? And most importantly, what happens with the rest of the milk that wasn't used? But also, what was the point in labeling them? If this was to tell the milk apart, it's clearly very easy because one's brown and one's white. But if it
Hi, how are you doing?
expiry date, you wouldn't have to waste these single one-time use only stickers every single time you got milk. If you just
America.
left it in its original bottle that the milk
Hi.
already came in, because you can't reuse expiry stickers. The passage of time amends that. If this was done for aesthetics, then why is every other bottle in your fridge still in its original packaging? It seems quite pointless, no? Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Mwah. I love you all so much, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys!
This is an Xbox One. Thank you. Missouri. I'm in the state of Missouri. Missouri.
Expect something beautiful. Kate Spade.
It's not always raining. Every day is like this. There's no one complaining. Every day is like this.
I've been trying to order for 10 minutes. I got ignored out there at the drive-thru. I'm
not recording all this. This is going to corporate. I spent 10 minutes at the drive-thru and I've been standing here for.
Oh my God.
Nobody's gonna even acknowledge. You walk by, you didn't even say, I'm busy, I'll be with you in a minute.
Guys, sometimes the customer actually isn't always right. And why is that? Because that employee literally told you that she would get to you when she could because their establishment is understaffed. And then you, the dumbass behind the camera, have the nerve to say that she never said that she'd be with you in a minute. When that's exactly what she said in the kindest tone imaginable. Are you an idiot? Guys, I am sick and tired of these Karens recording themselves screaming at these poor fast food workers who are just trying to make a living and then uploading it to TikTok with their chests puffed out and all on their high horse thinking that they're in the right when they're just exposing themselves to be complete waste of space.
No, not really. I don't know
Showing you guys how absolutely ridiculous
a whole lot about India.
people are, because trust me, the list just goes on. I first want to give a shout out to today's sponsor, Galaxy Lamps. So let's talk about something cool today. Have you ever wanted to take the night sky and put it in your room? Because I have. Well, with the Galaxy projector, you can do just that. If you've been thinking of adding a little something special to your personal space, then this is exactly the kind of lighting you need. It will transform any room into a planetarium, and it will give your room a truly unique and special feel. But not only that, it's also a smart device. So let's take a look at some of its features. First off, its RGB colors, brightness, rotation speed, on and off timers, and many more are fully customizable.
That buzzer? That buzzer? Is that always going off? You guys, can you take care of that? No, it's that she walks towards me. I'll have an extra large coffee double.
In this entire dimension that isn't making that beeping sound.
You're an adult, you should know that.
And for you to stand there and say, does that alarm not irritate you? Is absolutely crazy. Because, yeah, it probably does irritate them. But they had to get used to that noise because that is their job. They can't just sit around all day and whine about it like you, or they'd be out of employment.
So one extra large coffee?
And a banana chocolate muffin, please.
We don't have banana chocolate.
Okay, fine. Blueberry muffin, please. My God.
So your extra large coffee is black?
Like, you guys understand.
In there and listen to that, are you? Oh, my bad. Is there somebody behind the camera who is holding you at gunpoint and forcing you to order for them? Are you a hostage? You don't have to stand there and listen to that, dumbass. You're choosing to do that.
Hello, we're closed until 4:30. This is your staff.
Your sign says you're open 24 hours.
Correct, but when I have no staff, I don't have anybody to make the food.
You can't make any food?
No, sir.
Would you like me to come in and help you?
All to say, America, nobody wants to work anymore. Then please, explain to me, what the hell is she doing? You haven't even clocked in yet, fam.
This time I came here, my fries were cold. Did you make sure the
People are driving me crazy.
Every time you come here. Do you not understand? It's just a ridiculous.
No. You know what's actually absurd? You want to know what's actually ridiculous? Making the people behind you wait to the point of honking at you over a tiny cup of whipped cream for your dog. Firstly, if they do it at Starbucks, and you know that you are guaranteed a pup cup every single time you ask for it at Starbucks, then why the hell are you at McDonald's asking for something you know that's not on their menu? That's like if I went to Subway and demanded they give me a popcorn chicken from KFC. But secondly, and most importantly, why the hell are you giving your dog whipped cream issues later on if consumed in excess.
No. All you have to do is put some goddamn whipped cream in a and so that my dog can have a pup cup. I was paying for it. I asked to pay for it. You McDonald's people need to start like, come on now. It's a freaking pup cup.
So let me get this straight. You were willing to pay for this pup cup, even though they're free at a different location. So if you were willing to pay for a pup cup you know is free at another location, then why not just drive down to the grocery store and use that money to buy an entire can of whipped cream instead? You give it to your dog 12 times a month anyway, so why not just make it easier on yourself, dumbass?
Arrogant McDonald's manager right there.
Oh my God.
Right there. Cassopolis, Michigan. I'm going to corporate with this. McDonald's doesn't support dogs. They want me to round up to support the freaking kids every time I come here. What the hell?
Come back to me. Let everybody at the back of the class know what you just said. Oh, so you won't give my dog some whipped cream that he doesn't need, but you want me to contribute to the less fortunate and very sick children of the world. Greatly benefit from my contribution. Absolutely brain dead. You sound right now. How is that anywhere near the same level of importance?
It's a little bit of whipped cream in a cup. And I'm paying for it.
Oh my God.
It's a pup cup. Just give me a freaking pup cup. This could all be averted with a little bit of whipped cream for my dog. This is what America's going to. People like you tell me I can't get a pup cup. You lose your job when I send this to corporate.
I think America has several bigger fish to fry than your dog not with cream. I'm from Australia. What would I know?
I want to let you know that because these sauces were in the bag, my son's dinner was ruined. Alright, he doesn't want to eat no dry and he uses it for his french fries.
Okay. Am I cursing at you or disrespecting you?
Yeah, you did disrespectfully, actually.
No, I did not.
Maybe not right this second, but on the phone with me last night you did.
No, I did not.
In your opinion.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the funnest example of a person with no life because you're going to tell me not only did you call this Burger King the night before, but now you've driven to the actual store in person the very next day to complain about.
I'm gonna be 32 next week, next Tuesday. And I was drinking and laughing. This guy wants a pup cup and he's yelling about a pup cup. The hell does that mean?
I'm going to corporate with this.
Said, oh, so you won't give my dog some whipped cream that he doesn't need, but you contribute to the less fortunate and very sick children of the world who would greatly benefit from my contribution. Do you know how absolutely brain dead you sound right now? How is that anywhere?
This guy is getting mad about a pup cup.
Whipped cream in a cup, and I'm paying for it. It's a pup cup. Quit being so stubborn. Just give me a freaking pup cup. This could all be averted with a little bit of whipped cream in a cup for my dog. America's going to tell me I can't get a pup cup. Wait till you lose your job when I send this to corporate.
I think America has several bigger fish to fry than your dog not getting a lick of whipped cream, but hey, I'm from Australia, what would I know?
I want to let you know that
Hello there, everyone. My name is Mango.
Alright, he doesn't want to eat no dry and he uses it for his french fries.
Okay.
That's right, it's a kitty cat.
You are disrespecting you?
Yeah, you did disrespectfully, actually. Maybe not right this second, but
Not much. What's up with you?
No, I did not.
Pull his
In
whiskers
your
up.
opinion.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the funnest example of a person with no life whatsoever. You're going to tell me that not only did you call this Burger King the
I don't think I'm drunk.
Store in person the very next day to complain about the exact same problem. A job may be necessary, I fear. Your life has got to be so goddamn boring if you're doing this much.
As a business owner, doing it
Oh,
all
whatever.
isn't easy. You wear about every hat. So here's a choice that is. At US Cellular, when you buy 2 business lines, you get 2 lines and 4.
Don't just take classes, take charge. Start your comeback today at PurdueGlobal.edu.
When you need some serious grill strategy on game day, you could just ask Google for the perfect.
There are people talking.
So the feast is all ready by kickoff. Oh, that's how it's done. You got those grill zones covered.
Are you guys looking to buy a great car and have not so great credit? Try Smart. Look, I know I'm just
Excuse me,
another
sorry.
talking head.
Over a couple of dip exhaust packets.
When I pulled up here last night, I looked at whoever this person was in the eye.
He doesn't know you're mad, so why are you screaming at her like this? But secondly, you do know that your son has autism. And you know that he cannot eat his food without sauce. So, A,
What does that mean, little girl? What does that mean?
he won't eat his food without it. And B, how hard is it to check your food? Yeah, exactly. How hard is that? Do you know how
All right, bye.
hypocrisy is spewing from your mouth right now? It isn't hard to check your food. So why didn't you check your food before leaving the drive-thru? That's on you.
I said either he's incompetent or a liar. Can also report him, you didn't apologize once. You should have been like, I didn't tell you not to talk. You were just saying it's not right, and then put my sauces in. You said, I said, ma'am, you can come tomorrow. You said, what do you want me to do about it? I said the sauces are in the back. Call an officer on you. Oh.
That's okay, you don't need my name right.
You're allowed to pour an entire cup of coffee at their window and force them to take time out of their shift to clean it up. And that's okay. That's allowed.
So nobody's gonna come to the register? Where's your manager?
I am.
Okay, and so you're gonna ignore me as a customer trying to purchase some fries because you want your fries because you messed up on my burger?
I would not recommend you record.
I don't care what you recommend. I'm going to record because that's my right, and this is how you guys treat customers.
You want to be respected by being served by the manager and having your fries replaced. But when she wants the same respect from you by not being recorded, you say you don't care. So then tell me, right now, why the hell should she give a damn about your meal?
So, are you gonna deny me from trying to get some fries because you guys messed up on my burgers and you guys don't want to replace these cold ones? Because I brought them back. And for them to do what they're supposed to do. It's unbelievable.
She goes in there every day. What I say, these people have nothing better to do. So, let's do the math here. Your burger was messed up, which somehow made the fries cold. How the hell does that make any sense?
Wait, but I realized wasn't no peanut butter in it. Yeah, I can't get my money back. Right, but it's a big cup. I ordered
guys off with arguably the worst recording of this entire video, and that's a big accomplishment, okay? Just look at your competitors.
It's my second time back. This is what they gave me. I knew it wasn't great. Been waiting for the house, you know. Disgusting. Probably wasted about an hour now at this point. Never even want me a refund.
Hey, put your console in your car. That is filthy. Get that cleaned up before you start calling other things disgusting, yeah?
Here, I got a gift card.
I think people are getting way too comfortable treating fast food employees like they're absolute garbage. For absolutely no reason. And it needs to stop.
Check my ID or not? Would I like you to? What does that say on your chest right there? It says under 21, you should check my ID, right? I actually asked you guys in the past if you check out, and this is the same deal I reported. Don't even check my ID. Yeah, bring it up. You guys ready for ATM feature again? Is that what you ready for? What's your name? Laura. I got it on the camera here.
Hey, what I ask you? You don't care about the dangers of teenagers buying alcohol. You care about your own ego being bruised, period. If they didn't check the last time you were in there as well, clearly they don't need to. So just take the hit already, dude.
Yeah, are you the manager? Yeah. I think you ordered me the time.
Nice.
What?
Nice.
Did you say nice?
It's nice, yeah.
Okay, all I'm like, your corporate night and ordered up. No, hey, that's the fun order. They were fixing, right? Yeah, I came in here, you didn't even enter, like, welcome me to your restaurant. And then you say nice when I order something. That ain't customer service. Wait, so
Getting a call that's a complaint from a customer, and you think that it's maybe something like a customer's burger meat was raw, right? But then you answer the phone and it goes like this. Hi, this is Haley from Burger King. How may I help you? So I don't want to store establishment, and I was just trying to order 2 hamburgers, but I couldn't do that because you know what. My next point. He said to another employee, she just said no. She didn't even let me finish my order. Like, no! You didn't let yourself finish your order. She responded nice, and you know what you could have done? Just continued ordering, because that's genuinely nothing to get mad at. She wasn't stopping you from ordering. She just liked your choice, dumbass. But also, I walked in here and she didn't even bring me. You're at Burger King! Oh my god, I don't even know where you're from, because if you go back and rewatch that video, she literally makes eye contact with him and says, "Can I help you, sir?" That is a rating. I'm sorry, what more did you possibly want? I don't walk in Subway and expect them to start praising me for being in there.
Here you go, ma'am. I want to see her all day. Hey, Mandy, pull
Oh my gosh, wait.
pull around her, okay? Did you have this? Well, I paid for my money. You have to give me the food. You still want my bill as you told me to me? You got your money back? No. You didn't throw it. She threw it out. I don't know what to do here, man. She threw it. She never gave me any money. Well, I insulted me. I went away. Ignore her! When at this point, yeah. And that guy, get out of here! Get the out of here! You're not giving me that food, get my money back! If you don't give me that food, get my money back! I'm gonna pray for you, boy! Get my money back! I will pray for you tonight! I can't do the money! Where's the money? Or do what? Money! Or do what? Money!
Thank you. Yeah.
I literally had a headache. I don't.
Oh.
Literally had a bag of food in her car, and the employees gave her the money back, and she's still sitting there for minutes on end, making people pull around
Popcorn.
her and through different windows because she will not move, accusing them of not giving her money or food, despite the fact that she had both. Like, how bored do you have to be in your life to cause unnecessary trouble like this for yourself and other innocent human beings who just want to order some food and go home? There was an employee that was in this video who said in the comment section that they
Thank
were
you.
almost fired over this. And for what? These employees did nothing wrong. If this woman had a bag of food in her car and at the beginning of the video she was given money, what more could they have probably done? She got what she asked for. And how is it fair for the customer to be antagonizing towards these employees and prevent other customers from getting their food, and the employees are the one getting punished for this? God, this is why I loathe the quote, the customer is always right, because clearly they're not.
That's not my fault you chose this job. I would like the 50% off.
Of what? So you want $1? Let's see. So where is the receipt at?
One is 7 and one is 5.
It's buy one, get one 50%.
No, it's not. Read the sign, lady.
Just give her whatever the fuck she wants. Baby food, do you need my card? Here. Scan a receipt. $1 back, whatever it is.
It's not $1 back.
What that is. So no. It excludes privilege. It says it right there.
We know the prep, the grit, the determination.
Commercials.
In the pregame pep talks, we know what it takes to compete. Upping our game day in and day out for the best care, the latest treatment options, and the strongest training programs to get and keep
This is
athletes
Mango. Hello there.
new healthcare sports medicine,
Hello.
because we're competitors too.
With US Cellular Prepaid, you get reliable nationwide 5G coverage. Tender love and care makes a life worth living.
They say if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But we put it inside burritos and tacos anyway. Crispy chicken from Taco
Hello.
Bell, a brand new classic.
You're home for the holidays, back in your old room. Oh.
How are you?
Okay.
To tell an employee who works at the exact same store every single day what their policy is and to read the signs of this discount that they honor almost every single day with other customers who are checking out for the same discount. They know what the deal is because their management made them aware of it. So you shouldn't just waltz in there and demand a discount just because you can't read. I don't understand how she so confidently posted this. You embarrassed yourself in front of the employees, you embarrassed yourself in front of your fellow shoppers, and you embarrassed yourself in front of your son. And yet, even after being so confidently wrong, you still decided to post this anyways? Your apology means nothing because of how much of this employee's time you wasted because you can't read on a 5th grade level.
You're gonna tell me that you can't?
Can I see your application?
You can't. You told me you can't fulfill my order.
Can I see your application?
Yeah, after you answer my question.
Can I see your application?
You're acting very hostile.
I'm not. I'm asking you.
Hello, everybody.
People like this fill me with. Don't you just love it when an employee is trying to help you out and solve your problem to make your day easier and you don't want to cooperate? The entire video, this poor girl was so willing and so ready to give this lady her refund, but for some goddamn reason, she wasn't having it. So again, we face this conundrum. If the employee doesn't give you a refund, they're the problem. But if they do give you a refund or are actively trying to give you a refund, they're also the problem. So what do y'all want? A problem. That's what y'all want. Like, I'm sorry, but this was just a ploy to earn cash. Because this lady paid with a gift card and wanted a cash refund instead.
Can I have the card you use?
It's not my name on there. Okay. But you can see it right here.
No.
Drinks at this employee. I don't care. Now, apparently what started this...
Take your driving so I can get your license plate. You threw something at me. What do you think was going to happen?
Why do people not treat fast food employees like they're human beings? No matter what started this argument, that does not excuse a customer to throw 3 entire drinks at this employee. I don't care. Now, apparently what started this fight to begin with was a customer ordering drinks with no ice and getting 2 cups with her drinks inside that weren't filled all the way because there was no ice to lift it to the top. And look, I can understand that can be frustrating, but I think a lot of people forget that the people working behind the counter do not own the company. Therefore, they don't create the rules.
It's an Xbox One.
Tell their baristas to fill the space in the cup with ice or there will be consequences, then that's just something they have to do. If you don't like that, either go to an alternative location or, and this may be unheard of here, make your own drink at home so that you can decide how much or how little ice goes into those drinks. There is just no universe where an adult customer needs to handle whatever dispute they may have by throwing their entire bowl of food directly into a teenager's face. Not only is it never that serious because it's just fast food, but you yourself don't benefit from doing this anyways because you'll be sentenced to work
Yeah, I do.
for 2 months and everyone there is going to hate you the entire time. It is insulting to call this childish behavior because I don't even think a 9-year-old child would throw a tantrum like this over a burrito bowl. Grow the hell up. And if a kid makes a mistake on your order, how hard is it to calmly inform them that they've missed something in your order so that your problem can be quietly and easily rectified and everyone involved can go home happy?
Alright. Everyone ready? Is everyone a great customer? Okay, well, sweetie, I just put you on video, so I'm gonna let your boss know. I'm not ordering anything. You don't understand what I'm saying? Well, I'm saying that that's not how you do it.
I'm not allowed to listen to you.
Yeah, you're not.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so I just went to this Wendy's and had a very rude customer service experience.
I like Minecraft.
That was horrible customer service from you. In what world are you gonna start acting like a baby because a fast food worker doesn't immediately start showering you with praise or kissing your knuckles for choosing their drive-thru to eat your lunch at? All this girl said was order when ready. That is not rude.
Oh my gosh.
Pay with fast food workers too much, and they're the ones who are handling your food. And I'm gonna leave it at that.
This is a hotel. Therefore, I should not have to punch my own toilet because I did not have water. Because you should have more than one water pipe allowing water in.
Ma'am, please don't come in here dealing with this right now because I've been dealing with 136 people today.
That's your job.
So you're not the only one who does that.
That is your job.
Well, then the plunger, you can take it with you and
You can send a maintenance person up to punch my toilet.
Hotel, but if you go to
I like cheeseburgers.
house, say for a sleepover, and in the middle of the night you need to number 2. If the toilet then clogs, are you going to approach the owners of the house and say, "You go and plunge that toilet right now"? It has happened again, ladies and gentlemen. Trader Joe's has dropped yet another color of their tote bag, and people are acting like they're literally God's gifts to this planet again. There was a massive 200 people line at Trader Joe's.
Oh my god, yay! Let's get a tote bag! An overly fucking priced tote bag!
The bag sold out within seconds, but I overheard saying that they're dropping them again tomorrow. So are you going to be lining up? Now, keep in mind, I have literally made
Hell no to the no, no, no. Hell to the no. Hell to the no. To the no, no, no.
drops of the exact same product and yet still continue to draw the exact same hype every single time, but they've released 8 colors so far, and with this Halloween collection, now 12, with no sign of stopping anytime soon, which means people are essentially lining up before the crack of dawn for a bag that they already have in multiple different colors already. And I'm sorry to say, but that is just sad. And it's sad because how on earth do people even know? Like, not only do I have no idea what new items my local grocery store is dropping ever, but I also have no idea when these new items are even going to be dropping in my local grocery store. So where the hell are these people getting all of this information from? And how are they consistently keeping up with it? Who keeps up with new updates from their local grocery store? I don't understand that. Like, are we running Stan accounts or something? Then, in this video, this lady is driving around the Trader Joe's parking lot trying desperately to find a parking spot. But she quickly begins to realize that'll be an impossible task because of the sheer amount of people that are lined up outside, with the line extending out towards the cinemas and wrapping around the block. And the times these people started lining up genuinely makes me wonder what they do for a living.
Excuse me, what time did you guys get mine? 4 a.m. Thank you. 4 a.m. We're not getting one.
And I think something that bothers me the most is how they've decided to sell this specific line of tote bags. Because in previous releases, they put a limit of how many bags you could buy per person. For example, a limit of 4, which is enough to buy 1 bag of each color. So they've gotten people used to this scarcity mindset where they feel like they need to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning so that they don't miss out because the stock is limited. But now with this release, there is no limit on the bags. You can literally buy as many as you want, which does 2 things. 1, it wastes people's time, and 2, it encourages people to buy 30 at a time. So clearly, they don't care about everyone getting a fair shot at getting a bag anymore because they see the profit that resellers are making online with their bags. So they want all that profit for themselves without caring about their customers, which is why there's no limit.
Here's the line for the second day of the Trader Joe's Halloween tote bag drop. People started lining up around 6 a.m. and the line grew and grew. This is around 7:30. Yes, I'm just chilling in my car. By around 8 o'clock, it was wrapped all the way around the street. Yesterday, there were around 200 people. Today, I would say less. This is the orange location. But they still had security out there in case the bag line got a little crazy. It was around 8:30 or 8:45 by the time they started letting people in. I saw some people buying legit, like maybe 20 plus bags. Anyway, shout out to the Trader Joe's employees and anyone enjoying their new tote bag.
Everyone involved in this situation is just unserious. You're telling me that not only are people waking up at ghastly hours of the morning to line up in the freezing cold for a grocery store bag, but Trader Joe's is enabling this ridiculous behavior by hiring security guards to what? How monumental does Trader Joe's think their bag releases are? It's no wonder why people think these bag releases are something important to line up for. When you see security guards circling around the premise and a line that is literally wrapping around the street, you think there was a damn free Cody Rhodes meet and greet happening inside the Trader
Oh, that's a bust I made in ceramics class when I was in high school.
these bags are being treated. It's ridiculous. And I think the most amusing part about this entire situation to me is that for the first time in the history of these Trader Joe's bags dropping, people get inside the store after waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning and packing their camping chairs and blankets with them to wait outside of the store for the bags, and they're literally disappointed by the designs and the colors and think that they're nowhere near as cute as they thought. Can you imagine that? Lining up before the crack of dawn for a bag that you have no idea what it even looks like, but you've just seen the hype about it online.
Yeah, I made it.
You're sitting in a chair, freezing your ass off in the cold.
Yeah, I made it in ceramic class when I was in high school.
Because everyone else is. Overconsumption culture has rotted so many people's brains, and Trader Joe's just happily contributes to it. And here's the thing, if this was just one isolated incident of this happening, I don't think it would be a big deal. But the fact is, you can easily find hundreds of videos all across the United States of people happily spending hours outside of their local mall for a $3 bag, and that is disturbing, because just how many people out there are genuinely interested in owning the bags for themselves and aren't just in the business of reselling as soon as they get their greedy hands on the bags? Well, let me answer that question for you. A large majority of people waiting in this line would much rather buy a box of 100 of these tote bags and sell them on eBay for $1,000 rather than using all of that endless time in the world that they seem to possess, getting a job to make that money instead. This is just embarrassing, because these listings just simply aren't selling because of how much stock Trader Joe's has this time around. Nobody seems to be missing out. So they've probably gone into debt just to not even sell those bags. And honestly, that's what they deserve. It makes me happy.
All right, well, I'm going to go. It's nice to see everybody. Thank you guys for coming, liking, if you subscribe. Mwah.